Hello to those who have chosen Pao 1. The channeled song I got for you is Wasted Time by Charles. It's actually a pretty nice, chill song. It's basically about like losing yourself. It's kind of like an anthem for people or young people who leave their hometown living paycheck to paycheck, couch surfing, trying to find out, let's say, what occupation they want to do, what kind of personality do they want to have, what style should they embody. This song is all about losing yourself in the moment instead of worrying too much about this physical reality, societal expectations put on yourself too, childhood trauma, even worried about processing, trying to elevate spiritually. Let's say it's all about just forgetting all of that and really losing yourself in the pleasures in life. Instead of me worrying so much about if I'm going to get this raise, even though I have not found out for like a week, I'm going to treat myself today because I deserve it. Because regardless of the outcome, I'm deserving. Or this could also be interpreted the way of, you know how people say you're the creator of your own reality. You can mold and shape your reality to whatever you want it to be. You can mold and shape your own body to whatever you want to be. This song's about who gives a fuck about molding your reality? Who gives a fuck about manifestations? Just let me enjoy this day, this week of vacation, of just loving myself, losing myself, let's say, and dancing to many, many songs. It could be by myself, it could be at a club. I'm saying for you, right? Me not having a worry in the world about what others or what I think of myself. It's probably a testament for whatever you're going through, Pawan. Maybe you have certain criterias to meet at work, certain expectations that you hold yourself accountable for. Let's say if you're so used to always expediting your energy to many, many different avenues. So it could be that you have multiple supplemental incomes, your siblings or certain kids rely on you for financial backing, or you're always used to being the mediator, solving others people's problems. This is about forgetting all of that just for a little bit, y'all. Now I'm not saying like for the whole eternity, but give yourself a pat on the back for how far you've came. I think you have a hard time feeling in the moment. And what I mean by that is, oh my gosh, I'm gonna bring up this movie, y'all. There was this movie called Sound of Metal, and I don't want to ruin. Y'all should watch it, please. Like, it also helped that for I just randomly chose this movie to watch with my boyfriend at the time, and I was taking a deaf culture class in college. We were like pausing the movie once in a while, and I was explaining to him like certain stigmas that the character was experiencing or that his family was projecting onto him. So the main character ends up deaf. And he's what in his 20s or something, and it's called Sound of Metal because he was in a metal band. So he was the drummer. So all he knew was to rely on his hearing. And then the next morning, he just woke up. He could not hear. He was deaf. He ended up going off on a journey, which kind of reminds me of the song. You know how I was telling you on "Wasted Time" by Charles. He was given the opportunity to go, like, I would say, a commune of deaf people, and they were educating him on deaf culture. They ended up teaching him how to use sign language. They were all about their deafness. They were very, very proud of the people that they were. But throughout this process of him trying to integrate himself into this commune and learning to accept his deafness, he was still battling the fact, like the expectations of society that he knew, which is to get a hearing aid, that no matter what you need to hear. The person who brought him in was trying to help him do activities to where he would sit alone with his thoughts and really realize like that's the only way you can understand that you are beautiful yourself. Like, no, I feel like crying, I don't know why. That you're beautiful no matter who you are, no matter who you become. What ended up happening, I don't want to ruin it, but like it goes with whatever probably happened with you, okay? So what ended up happening was that when he was supposed to have moments of reflection with himself, just journaling, just to sit alone in silence because he was always restless. He always needed sound. He ended up running away from the little commune thing, right, with all the deaf people. And he ended up trying to integrate himself with his girlfriend and the girlfriend's family. And he ended up getting into peer pressure and not peer pressure. He ended up getting the surgery. So what I learned in my deaf culture class is that there's a lot of stigmas, obviously, on being deaf because the hearing world expects deaf people to want to hear and that they are pitied because they have lost a sense that we hearing people have, you know. He ended up getting a surgery where he got a metal plate in both sides of his head. It was to help him hear. So after he was done with the surgery, it's just not the same. It's not the same as hearing right now, the way that we can hear, whenever they hear stuff, it's like a radio channel, but it's annoying. It's a constant radio channel, and you can turn it off and on. At the very end of the movie, he sat there on the bench of this, maybe I think he was in the city because he was at a party and it was too much. It was too much noise and like frequencies and like static. And he was trying his best to hear and he just couldn't. It was not the same as regular hearing. So at the very end of the movie, he goes and walks out of the city, leaves the party and sits down on a bench while he's watching everyone else. And then he turns it off on both sides of his ears. And that was the end of the movie because it took him to conform to society and do all that to think that he loved himself by conforming to realize at the very end what he was trying to tell him, which you need to sit with yourself in silence and actually love who you are. But in a sense, the way that the movie ended, it was just too late. I don't know why I feel like crying, y'all, but it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. I think it was a really good movie because I took the dev culture class whenever I was watching it, but I feel like this story also relates to you and then this song. So now I'm starting to interpret the High Priestess card here. And what Spirit's telling me is they're giving me another analogy. I don't watch too much or follow too much tarot channels because not a lot of them align with me vibrationally. But there's one channel I watch, I think it's Tarot Time with Dana. I was watching a zodiac one because she does zodiac ones. One of the things she said was, I was asking Spirit, what's wrong? Why am I not in line or why am I not in tune? And but she kept on asking Spirit, why am I not in tune? Why am I not in tune? Why am I not in tune? And she kept on asking Spirit, and then finally Spirit told her, well, you're not in tune right now because you keep on telling yourself that you're not in tune. So then you end up becoming not in tune. So that's what I'm getting with the High Priestess card. I think you're overthinking or overanalyzing intuitive downloads, your spiritual capability or abilities. To you feel as if your connection with spirit is kind of tricky and you kind of gotta go at it multiple ways until you hit the right spot or until you hit the gold. But what Spirit's telling you is that you can achieve spiritual success, spiritual accolades so much easier if you just simply followed your gut and just did the first thing that your gut told you the first time, and then you're going to get the outcome instead of overthinking, overanalyzing, and going at it many ways to make sure that you're going to get the success. You know how I was mentioning about expectation. So over here with the King of Pentacles, you have many high stand. You hold yourself to a high caliber, and you meet it every single day. So you're giving me the type of vibe where you rarely take breaks from work. On your free time, it's always you being productive. You are rarely at home. And if you're at home, it's because you're doing something productive with your time, like spending time with your children or mowing the lawn. You're just always active. That's my point. You consider yourself a successful person. You worked hard for what you have. You didn't ask for any handouts. With the chariot card, Spirit's not telling you to dumb down the fire of your passions for, because I think you have many passions for many things and you make many things come true in this reality and you have a lot of responsibilities. But this is aligning with the priestess card where it's like there's an easier way to do things and to give yourself more free time for yourself than you even realize. I feel like you can't even conceptualize that because what I just told you, you make sure to make plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, all the way to F, and then to just to make sure that it's gonna come true. And Spirit's telling you, honestly, you need to just start trusting your gut more, trusting your intuition, and spending more time in meditation, more in tune with yourself and your body. I think that you're just like a workhorse. You just work, 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 work. And there's nothing wrong with that because I think that your body can take it with the King of Pentacles. I don't think you're receiving any health repercussions or you're not going to anytime soon. But Spirit's telling you that there's a more efficient way to go about life. An example I would like to give whenever it comes to career is, let's say you have your own business practice and you're just a one man team. You do everything yourself when your life could be so much more easygoing and you would have so much more hours to yourself and to your free time, to your hobbies, if you just hire an assistant and a receptionist. Especially with the King of Pentacles, you're so used to doing it on your own, being independent. The way that you're going about things is correct. I feel like it just makes logical sense. But Spirit's trying to tell you that not everything is about logic. You're supposed to have perfect balance of using your mind and following your heart and your intuition. And you're just not following your intuition. The way you follow your intuition is so rational. I think it's comical because you're still following your intuition. You are. But it takes you forever to really find the heart, find the core of a, let's say, a lesson or find the core of trauma. Like you feel like the type of person that if you were to do shadow work, you would look up online how to do shadow work. You don't feel like a person that would do spells. But I'm just throwing it out there. If you wanted to do a spell, you would look up online, look up what color coordinates with what color will manifest what. Spirit's trying to tell you that that logical mindset is not it. Because the way you're honestly supposed to be doing like witchcraft or whatever you want to do with spells, you're supposed to intuitively pick out what color means what. You're not supposed to do what's online. It's nice to look it up to get examples and stuff, but you are so practical and by the book that you don't bother critically thinking how to do your own shadow work because you have your own unique way. Everyone else has their own unique way of doing shadow work at its most effective, and you don't try to find that because it's not in a book. It's not written out. It's not an instruction. Therefore, it's just dismissed that that's the simple idea, but that's not true. You need to start critically thinking outside the box how to change your life and make your life easier to have more free time because I feel like with the King of Pentacles, you don't even want to have free time. I think that you're just fine with your schedule, but Spirit's letting you know that you don't see it yet from their perspective, but your life will be a lot more effective and efficient by allowing yourself free time. And this Princess of Chalices is what you don't see coming. So I told you all this, right? You may question your beliefs and motives, the way your perspective is, but I don't think you're going to change it. So that's why Spirit's kind of urging you to, and this is one of the many things that you didn't see coming instances where you're forced to reevaluate the way you process and go about life. So, you know how I was like tearing up telling you about that movie and about the main character and how at the very end he ended up sitting down on the bench and actually just sitting still with himself when he could have done that before and accepted himself before? So, with the Princess of Chalices, you're going to have that kind of moment. So, I'm getting that it's from a child. If it's not a child, this is like a very, very emotional person, someone who wears their heart on their sleeve. But I'm going to start to read this as one of your children or children that you end up looking after. I think children are so fascinating. They just say some shit where I'm like, I didn't even think about it like that. So my point is, I think you're going to be having a conversation with this child. They say something or they're saying a story or talking about their dream. And then they're like, but it's okay because I handled it like this. And that's the way you go about things. You just, it's something where they didn't mean to trigger your heart, but they do. And now I'm getting to like cry because you're like, yeah, you're right. Like, you really are right. What this could be is you never realized it, but you're not spending enough time with your children, and your child makes a comment about you not knowing anything about them, and that it's okay because that's how it always is. Where you end up realizing your neglectful nature towards the people that you should be loyal to and that you should love. But Spirit's letting you know that this instance that's going to pop up soon. Many little instances have popped up before this to Spirit trying to make you realize you need to change the way you're going about life. I'm not even surprised if you clicked on this reading and you didn't even think, how can I even better my life? You're just like I'm just bored. Anyways, so this last section is going to be, if you follow the little advice I just gave y'all, what's going to be the outcome of that? Isn't that funny that the King of Pentacles came out before and now the Queen is showing up? And I think this is kind of alluding to feminine or females are more known to be intuitive. So I think this is you actually trying to listen to your intuition. And I would also like to say too that before in the King of Pentacles, he had a lot of idols around him, which I think represented societal expectations, but also expectations that this person had. And maybe you have expectations to follow your family lineage, you got to do a certain way, but now there's none. They're all gone. And it's just her with her coin. So on the top, I don't know if you saw, but it's the Emperor and then the Eight of Wands in the middle, and then on the left is Eight of Swords in reverse. And then I was getting the phrase resting on your laurels. So the outcome, if you follow my advice, you're going to feel very empty. I don't think you're gonna do much. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I think this is your way of processing your entire foundation, framework that you've built for your, let's say, your career, your personality, your endeavors in general, the connections you have are all kind of fake. I'm telling you this right now, but it's not going to translate right away. The conscious mind, what I just told you, knows that now and is very aware of that now, but your conscious mind is getting ready to process that. And as I said that, I got period stagnancy. So I'm not surprised if your subconscious mind realizes that everything is built off of a foundation for you. You're going to be finding yourself where you accidentally sleep in. You're zoning in and out of meetings. You're not paying much attention to your surroundings. This kind of feels like dissociation. You're just a walking shell. And maybe this is how you learned how to cope with things. This is going to end up triggering you to go into your flight or fight mode. So while it is going to take a while to process this, Spirit realizes there with Eight of Swords in reverse, like, if you could, you're gonna stay like this like forever. So I think Spirit already knows you. Maybe your spirit guides know that you have this tendency whenever it comes to trauma or your ego getting hurt, stuff like that. This kind of feels like an ego death, to be honest. Anyways, with the Eight of Wands, this is them coming in, and I feel like your spirit guides are very active with you, your angels, whoever's around you. They're sending in someone, I guess they send in a lot of people for you. They're sending in someone to fix it, to like tell you get it together. You know how I said you need a list, you need a plan. This person's giving you a list and a plan, but this feels like a father figure, just someone who is very wise. That's why I think that this person's literally older than you. You do know this person though, because this person knows the same thing like Spirit. You have this tendency. So I don't think it takes them too many questions to ask you to realize that everything is fake, but it's not like if you can drop and leave everything. So what kind of plan can I make? I think that this person just intuitively can just read your cues and just realize what you actually mean, what actually is going on, and then they're going to give you a plan because obviously you like to follow a list. That's all I'm getting from there. Because I thought, how can I better my life? I thought that people who needed this reading were going to come to it as in they were like down bad, but you were not down bad, Pal One. You realizing that everything that you built is on a faulty foundation is going to trigger you being down bad. Really good luck to you, Pal One. I'm just going to end it off here. Lots of hug and support from me. You know, you can, if you ever want to, if you're that powerful spiritually, which I assume that you're not, maybe you are though, maybe because the high priest came out. Just tap into my energy anytime you want. Ask for love and support. I'll definitely give it to you. Other than that, good luck. Okay. Please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day or night. Bye. Hello to those who chose Impal too. Okay, so I intuitively chose a song for your pile. I'm going to interpret that first. And I got This Is Why by Paramore. And I don't know why I'm getting this, but I'm getting like scenic rap or like indie music. Maybe that's the kind of stuff you're into because I personally do not listen to this kind of music. But I mean, I was gotta see what I gotta say with the song. I'm getting a lot of anger, resentment towards an individual. Yeah, because I don't know why, but I'm interpreting the lens of this song as the actual song sounds very upbeat and honestly sounds very adorable. But the lyrics, if I were to just say them out loud, it sounds like I should be yelling it, like getting mad at you, grabbing your shoulders and shaking them and like yelling these things at you. Maybe you or this person has threatened to, but this isn't a threat because this is repetitive. I'm gonna leave this relationship if you don't do this. I'm gonna leave the house unless you do this. But like threats, but this is like a cycle because two sixes are showing up. I equate cycles with sixes. There's just a really distorted, to be frank, disgusting energy that you're allowing yourself to delve into whenever it comes to this individual. So how can I better my life? It's probably about this toxic relationship dynamic. I would like to preface this too that if you are a victim of physical, mental, emotional violence, you need to get help, okay? There's hotlines out there. There's ways to get out of it. But at the same time, with my experience with people who are victims of those particular relationship dynamics, they often do not seek help because they don't understand that they deserve better or that they can live without the other person. So I feel like maybe this is breaking down and helping you realize whatever you're in is wrong. This does not have to be like romantic. This can be like familial too. Friendship, just something where someone's preying on you. Okay, so I'll be showing these first because I'm starting to interpret like up and then down, or top to bottom. My bad, that's what I mean. And the first this first song I channeled with the Queen of Swords. Ooh, that kind of matches. Anyways, is I'm Crying But I Love You, and it's by Lizzo. Yeah, it's a gorgeous song. Gosh, her vocals really pop in that song. But I gotta get serious because this is not about Lizzo. This is about a serious situation. So these two sixes are going to be representing how you feel, the way you feel like you're portraying yourself, and the way you think the other person is receiving it or taking it. And over here in the middle, I think how spirit is objectively viewing y'all's dynamic. And then over here on the right is portraying how you actually are, the reality of it. With the Queen of Swords and channeling self pitying, you tend to deflect a lot of blame. It's very, very difficult for you to internalize and process that you've done something wrong or how you have contributed to a particular outcome. I would like to let you know that I'm speaking from experience. I'm not talking like some little rich kid who has no experience. I've been through it. And I've seen so many of my family members go through a toxic situation like this. And I'm just letting you know that I think that you are in a victim mentality. And what I mean by that, right? I think you are in an abusive situation or definitely a situation with a person where they're taking advantage of you and you subconsciously realize that, but you're consciously dealing with that, coping with that by grandiosing the other does that make, is that a word? The other person, or and then devaluing yourself, thinking that you're worthless, and you might have bouts and spurts of just erratic behavior because you have emotional ups and downs. It's horrible what you're going through, and I really feel for you, pal, too. But you have to realize that the other person isn't the only one contributing to this dynamic. So if it's an abuser, right? Because ultimately, that's the way, that's what I'm channeling. You're willing to be their victim. You have been manipulated and have a stifling perspective to force you to stay in this kind of dynamic. In that way, you're also contributing to this dynamic. It's a 50-50 at the end of the day. This person's giving their 50, which is a horrible 50, disgusting, it's distorted. That's the other 50 you're giving to this dynamic too. If you want this dynamic to change, you have to make the change because this person is not about to change. Don't come at me with, I don't need therapy, this other person needs therapy, I don't need to change, this other person need to change, because that's wrong. Whenever you have entered this dynamic, I feel horrible for you if this is like a familial dynamic, because obviously you've been going through this since you were younger. You have a lot more to unpack, recalibrate, like the programming that you've had. The way this dynamic has effed you up in the head is the way that you are going about everything else in life. Because of this one dynamic, it's influencing the way you go about your career, the way you go about friendships, other relationship dynamics. You have so much wounding, and I just feel like you're very in denial of it. I'm not even surprised if some of y'all just clicked on this reading because y'all are bored. So ingrained in your subconscious to just immediately retort to this victim mentality. Everything else is wrong in the world except for you. You're just a victim of this cruel world. I feel like I'm not doing it justice delivering it because I'm not delivering with enough kindness. I'm a very blunt person, so I would just like to apologize if this is like really, really triggering you, and I hope you can stay for the whole reading because there's a reason why you clicked on this pile out of all the other 5 piles. But the way Spirit's seeing you with the Queen of Swords is that you're beautiful and you're abundant. You have so much going for you if you were to just live an independent, stable life. And that means away from this person and away from other toxic people, but you lack discernment. You have a lot of self growth to do. That's just simply how Spirit's seeing you, because the way Spirit's viewing you, they're not viewing you as a victim. They're viewing you as you're allowing karmic circumstances besides this person to enable your thought process, further this victim mentality. Spirit loves you. Of course, Spirit loves you, but they don't feel so remorseful for your circumstance. And I think that would trigger you because you want everyone else to feel bad for you. And with the Six of Pentacles, the way you're viewing this relationship dynamic that is bad for you, right? The toxic, you're really giving of your resources and like of your love. But the way you go about relationships is, if I give love, if I give my resource, I deserve something back too, which that in itself is a distorted way of viewing things. I'm just letting you know. I can picture you having a reputation of being a very charitable person, but the honest truth, y'all, it's just a facade. You've learned to upplay this charitable kind persona so that way you can get stuff from other people. And whenever people don't follow through with giving stuff back to you, first off, you didn't even let them know. You're the type of person that if I was your new neighbor, you would bake me something, like a welcoming gift. But then you would expect me to give you a gift back to you, but you wouldn't tell me. You'd be like, oh, hi, Naomi, here you go. And then by the time you leave, and I don't give anything to you, you're just like, oh, that person's so disgusting. I can never trust that person. That person doesn't have great values or morals. Like, clearly, they were not raised up right. But you're just so judgy. I feel like you just have a lot of healing to do. I'm not gonna lie, like, you just remind me of my mother. I'd be so weird if my mother, like, found my channel and then clicked on a random reading and then it was this. But in a way, this because this toxic relationship dynamic has effed you up. You view your interactions with other people in the lens of it's interactional. There needs to be an exchange to happen. There's nothing out of the kindness of your heart. With the Page of Cups, Spirit wants me to tell you that you need to humble yourself, realize that you're no better than other people. Everyone is on the same playing field, and you have a lot of inner growth to do. One last thing I'll mention, like with the Six of Cups, is that for me personally, y'all, in my early 20s is when I've actually started feeling positive and negative emotions. I will cope with trauma by blocking out my emotions, so I didn't feel anything for a large portion of my life until then. When I started feeling them, I was literally reacting to how I would feel if I was happy, like a 4 year old, or I would handle conflict and arguments like I would literally just throw a tantrum because I could not process. I felt so much emotion. I did not know how to handle it. And I just feel like that's one example of other skill sets that you have in life where you're very underdeveloped. So you have a lot of work to do with that. Like how I said with the Queen of Swords, you lack discernment. Therefore, you don't follow your intuition. You end up mixing up, convoluting good spirits with bad spirits and bad spirits with good spirits. If you're clicking on this reading, you may believe in a certain religion, you may worship a certain deity, and that connection is real that you have with them. It's just like if a trickster spirit were to act like them, you would think that they're the same. The way spirits viewing it is your ancestors, past loved ones, y'all, your spirit guides, they angels, they just want to help lead you down an amazing path. And over here, you're thinking that they're all trying to attack you, when in reality, they're giving you the sword so that way you can collect them, so that way you can use them in another lesson, you know? Like it's all gonna work out. But because you lack self reflection, you have a toxic mindset and mentality, you see anything that goes against your judgment and the way that you think as bad. So it's like spirit can't get to you. And with the Five of Wands over here, I'm getting that the way you see it is that you're doing spirit's work. You're fighting off evil entities. I keep on getting Christianity references, so I'm not surprised if you do believe in God or some branch of Christianity that you believe in. But this is the reality. I'm just letting you know. And I feel like this is going to offend you, but I have to be honest with you, y'all. Like I feel like you're very closed-minded, so that's why I think you believe in one religion. You think that that one religion is correct or the way that y'all think is correct. I work with Egyptian deities. Okay, just long story short, I don't need to explain this to you, the backstory. There's an Egyptian deity that's known for his Americanized name is Thoth, or like the white version, and he's currently watching over me, and I have been asking for his discernment whenever it came to this pile and asking for his help specifically to help me give you the message, because over here is going to be what happens if you follow my advice for how to, deal with your life, because I'm trying to give you real stuff, and he told me not to hold back. And I don't know why, but he's grumpy with me, and I have some shadow work to do myself. And my point is that you would get triggered by that. You probably would want to click off on this. If whoever I'm channeling, it just feels like religious extremism. But I would just like to let you know that, because in a way, I just want to throw salt in your wound, because I just don't like the person that you are. Like the lack of self awareness you have is very astounding, especially for someone who is supposed to be a grown adult. So I don't know why I'm being petty with you, but you see, Thoth is being petty with me. So maybe I'm just channeling his energy. Sorry, I have to really censor myself right now. Okay, now I'm getting a very extreme channeling, but it's like, are you gonna live or are you gonna die? So I think that is pertaining to like an ego death, a spiritual awakening. Once again, this is aligning with spirit over here with the priestess card, and over here is the chariot. Are you gonna change or not? You gonna do it or not? I keep on getting to be very harsh with you. Like, do it now or never. Maybe you tend to push things off, or you tend to make excuses for yourself. It's like no, no, no. You gonna take the leap of faith or not? Let's go. Let's go. If you're not, okay, bye. And I think it just came to this point because spirit has tried so many times to penetrate you, reach out. That sounds horrible. I meant like penetrate like your walls that you put up, and it's just not working. And with the Six of Cups over here, you know that God, whatever you believe in, loves you. And that is so true and it's so authentic. But at the same time, look at how many people are in this card. There's nine people. There's so much more than just nine. Like, there's way more ancestors, good spirits, good angels that want to help you out. But you only see that one connection with God being good. Whatever God tells you is the correct way to go. And there's just more to the spirit realm, to one's character. There's more of a facet to spirituality than what you realize. For years, you have enabled yourself to see everything, not just spirituality, in such a minuscule lens. You don't even realize that you're even inhibiting yourself. Okay, so this is going to be the outcome if you do listen to me. Once again, you got the Chariot card. With the Chariot in reverse, as soon as you were to even begin to want to change, reevaluate everything, the way that you process, dealt with things, how you have even just the thought of maybe I've contributed to all my issues in my life, then that's whenever you're going to experience a spiritual awakening or spiritual upgrade. I feel like a spiritual upgrade is whenever you've already experienced the spiritual awakening, and then a spiritual upgrade is like it's whenever you have them. I think with this spiritual awakening, you're going to realize that you're going to be gifted the power of discernment. You know how I said with the Nine of Swords, you could not decipher anything from good or bad. You're going to see or feel that you have spirit guides around you have angels around you, that you can trust. I'm not getting you channeling the ancestors, but it's the ones that are constantly with you. And I think you're going to ask them for their advice and their support. I keep on getting two, maybe I have two main ones, but they're going to tell you that you need to leave this toxic situation, this toxic person. But I think it's going to be really hard for you. So the only way for you to be able to do that is to totally block them on everything and just up and leave. So yeah, good luck if you have children, good luck with any legal stuff. But that is what it is, y'all, if you follow the advice. So please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. You're probably gonna dislike it. It's all good though. And have a great day or night. Bye. Hello to those who chosen pile 3. Each pile is going to get a song, right? And I intuitively chose it for you. I'm just letting you know. I intuitively chose Good Kid Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West and Kendrick Lamar. But then, like, as I was about to put down these cards, Spirit was like, Pile 3 does not need a song. And let me tell you, you got the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles popped out 2 times. Whenever I put down the cards, they're literally like this. So I didn't do this on purpose. Like, I did not place it like that on purpose. They're all together. And then the Seven of Swords in reverse. And that. Okay. My point is, Pot 3. I channeled in the last 2 readings that the people that clicked on those piles thought that there was nothing wrong with their life and they were just bored and they were just clicking on it when there actually was. And for you, Pot 3, I think you think the same thing, but if anything, you're like, you know what, I am open to criticism, this and that. But honestly, I think there's nothing wrong with you because as I was shuffling these cards, Spirit's telling me honestly, like they actually genuinely don't really need this reading. So I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And then these cards came out. No, mamas, the confirmation. So I'm getting to interpret this Ten of Pentacles over here. You're a very prosperous individual spiritually, but with this Ten of Pentacles, I'm getting that in the physical, you have not received the rewards that you deserve. If anything, you have received karmic repercussions and you're still receiving them. But I'm just letting you know that within the next 2 years of your life, it's going to be completely different of 180. Maybe you're going to live in an entirely different location. Maybe you're going to have entirely different people in your life. You're going to receive you're just definitely the abundance, y'all. Abundance in all aspects of life is what you're going to receive. This is a time period, and even before this, it feels grudgy. Like, imagine if you got your feet stuck in quicksand, but you have to run like a mile through it. So you cannot stop, and it's kind of hectic. You don't really get anything out of it. It's just that you're trying to save your life, you know? But my point is that you have built up your good karmas and then some. The way that you've already came out now, you were not projected to come out this way. And that's why I said in 2 years, because I think in 2 years' timing is the moral, the character that you have developed up until now. Spirit was going to give you kind of like a 2 year gap to kind of catch up to be that kind of person, but you already caught up earlier. So right now, it's still going to be on plan in that you're still going to rough it out, tough it out, but Spirit's letting you know that you are going to be building extra good karma because you already deserve this abundance. You already deserve like abundance in all aspects of your life. Like I just got chills. You deserve the most. Showered in gifts and love and attention is what's destined for your life, but you are not receiving that at this moment, and you're not going to definitely receive that probably this year. But y'all, it is going to change. I swear. You're going to be surprised. You're probably going to look differently. Just your lifestyle's going to change, and everyone around you is going to think that you deserve it because you're such a good person. You really, really are. You've changed so much about yourself. I'm just so proud of you. You deserve the most. You deserve good karmas. You deserve great things to happen to you. And they are going to happen to you, but not right now. And I'm sorry if you have made manifestations even in the past and currently, because sadly, they are not going to manifest right now. I'm so, so sorry, but I'm just letting you know Spirit is hearing you. I'm not surprised if you have made manifestations and only the tiny ones have came true. Like, I feel like you're kind of self doubting your manifestations techniques, but I'm just letting you know within 2 years of timing, that's whenever you should start making manifestations because right now it's like written in the stars, written in the contract that you're just not meant to receive those yet. I'm so sorry, but don't worry. Life's gonna turn out great for you. I'm just so proud of you. Anyways, yeah, that was it. It's just you have so much good karmas coming for you that it's like enough to fund you for this lifetime and then the next one. You see, are you an earth sign? I'm also getting Sagittarius. I'm gonna be channeling them. Pisces and Gemini and a Leo rising. That's all I'm getting, but that's not the point. Well, how can you better your life? You have basically mastered, you're aligned with your soul. So, what I mean by that is that, some people struggle to come out or they struggle to be themselves and find themselves. For you, I feel like early on, I don't think you're an older person, I think you're very young. Early on, you have found a way to work through the shadow work in a rapid pace and just embody who your soul is and you express it. So, what I mean is that you truly are the embodiment of yourself, therefore, your environment is meant to match it. The only thing that's stopping you is not even you, it's just divine timing. And that's what kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, I feel like you're down in the trenches right now. Like, I'm not surprised if you're trying to come up, especially fiscally, but you're still grateful that you can even eat, that you have been given money for your time and effort that you have given at work. You're grateful for the amazing people around you. I just feel like you're so humble and sweet. Ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, if you work with other deities, your deities, they love the adorable spirit you are. God, you're just so pure and high vibing. You just deserve the most. And with the Ten of Pentacles, this Ten of Pentacles, this is more like over here. This is, I feel like, what a Ten of Pentacles card is supposed to embody, which is family and marriage and happiness and stuff. But over here with this Ten of Pentacles, it's more self sovereign, self efficient. I'm not surprised if you're not in a relationship right now. Or if you are, like y'all are in very much long distance and you have healthy boundaries. Anyways, the only thing that's stopping you is just to wait and have patience. But you are exercising patience. God, you're such a beautiful divine being. Part 3. From here on out, it's just going to be side quests until you receive your actual abundance. So, a side quest that Spirit would like you to work on does involve shadow work. And over here with the Seven of Swords in reverse, their shadow work, you have visited all areas of trauma, but they would like you to revisit a specific time in trauma that deals with sex, assault, just other people's projections and thoughts onto your body. So it could be like body shaming, catcalling, because I think you actually do have to do more work whenever it comes with that. But I think you've already visited this topic, and it's not that you have not healed from it. I think that they want you to allow yourself to feel your feelings whenever it comes to that topic. I think you're so used to seeing things from a higher perspective. You are into spirit. You're used to seeing things from a higher perspective, and you tend to push down what human emotions are, what the typical human would experience emotionally whenever it comes to certain traumas. And it's not that you're shaming yourself, you're handling it healthily. It's just simply whenever it comes to these sex attacks that were done onto you, or sexual energy that you did not deserve to be placed on yourself, you deserve to feel the way you feel. You deserve to feel those horrible feelings. So they want you to revisit those traumas and allow your body to purge those feelings, which you would definitely cry about it. Allow yourself to get angry. I was seeing that I think maybe it's in the big cities. I don't know if this is in other countries. There's certain stores that are tailored to whenever you break stuff, they let you break a room or break vases, break stuff in a room to let out all your anger. And you can maybe rent one of those rooms and just let it all out. I'm getting that you now know how to healthily cope with things, but whenever it comes to this, you deserve to cope with it the way that you used to. So let's say if you were used to physically harming yourself, punching yourself, instead of doing that, try to express it through physical onto an object. Just try your best to channel it in a healthy way, but still allow yourself to feel and process it. But even by doing this, you're just building up even more good karma for yourself. Like you fasten the process somehow whenever it comes to karmic healing. And with the high priestess, I'm getting all seeing, all knowing. You have access to sacred and sacral, I don't know what that means, but not knowledges. Not even the average spirit would have access to. You're such a divine, gorgeous being. I think in the spiritual realm, you're very intimidating. Your presence is very like boom, like it's just out there. You have mastered the law of manifestation and attraction, and I don't think you even know it. You don't even know because it has not manifested into your reality here with the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm not surprised if, you know how whenever people do spiritual work, it shows in their physical body. So if your aura has not caught up to the beautiful divine being you are spiritually. So I think within 2 years' time is whenever you walk into a room, everyone's gonna turn around because just your aura is that seductive and just potent. You have to look at pile three. Little things like that, or like money, or let's say your soul tribe, your soul family, you're going to attract them, but it's gonna take a while for you, but I think it's because you're young. Okay. Anyways, this is supposed to be what happens, like what's going to be the outcome if you follow my advice in the reading I just told you. So, this is in regards to the Seven of Swords in reverse. The analogy, right? You have visited all your traumas and you have worked through them. Whenever you go back to this particular subject of trauma, I think you're going to realize that you need to revisit all your other traumas to allow your body to purge. But I'm getting that that's not really the correct interpretation. Yes, all seeing, all knowing, you're the high priestess there. But I think whether you like it or not, Spirit's gonna force you to do this because I was looking over here and the first thing I got was access denied. As soon as you do this, don't be surprised if your spirit guides they kind of disappear or they're very watered down. Y'all's interactions, they're like a few seconds long, or same thing with deities or other spiritual beings you do workings with or that you like to visit, and talk with and learn from, it's just going to be you. Everyone's going to cut off their connection with you. So I think you're just going to be forced to revisit all your other traumas and allow yourself to sit in that. But even then, I don't see you having a problem with it because here you're embodying Earth, which is the epitome of patience. And this is also the Earth too. Like you're used to going in periods of drought. That's why I was channeling before. Like you're in the trenches right now, this physical reality. Yeah, honestly, that was it. Like, keep on doing you, Pod 3. Run applause. Run applause. I hope you hear that. Okay. Please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a good day or night. Bye. Hello to those who have chosen POW 4. So the song that I intuitively chose for y'all was Sucker by the Jonas Brothers. This Wheel of Fortune card is what you don't see coming. I think this is all about what you don't see coming, POW 4, because at first that was what I only channeled with the wheel card. But with this song, something is following you, but this does not feel ominous. Like it's trying to catch up to you or make you notice it. Okay, so this was supposed to be on how can I better my life. Yeah, you really didn't have too many cards come out. With the Five of Chalices, you're showing up there, right? You're the main character there. You've been in a self reflective state. It's now made you bored and kind of bland of life. I think you've been in a constant state of self reflection, self improvement, that it's stifled your perspective on this reality. What I mean by that is if you did have career goals before this spiritual awakening or this self-reflective stage of your life, so I don't know how long this period's been for you. It could be months, could be years. You don't really have like career goals in turn because of this. You don't really care about adding more people to your life. You're content with your environment now. That's my point. If you have a home now, you don't aspire to live in a different area. You're fine with what you have now. It's letting you know how can I better my life. It's stop focusing so much on spirituality and self-improvement and focus on this physical reality. And I said physical, it could have to do with money. I just think spirit has plans for you. And because of all the shadow work you've done, your good karmas have been building up. And you don't even realize that spirit wants to give you blessings and opportunities in your life. And they're currently, right now, Paw4, they're still in the process of placing them. They want it to be where you're constantly self reflecting, and then boom, one day you wake up and you're like, why don't I apply for a different job? Why don't I do this? Why don't I go to the bar? Why don't I go and download Tinder? Why don't blah, blah? Like, you're just gonna suddenly get a random burst, totally shake up your life, and you're gonna do it. Because with the five chalices, it's showing that you're very a mutable person. You start going like boom, 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 get the sunburst of energy to just change and stop, just get out of the self-reflective energy. Just know that came from spirit, kind of jolted you awake in a sense in this physical reality. You're going to get your manifestations. So this could be 5 manifestations because the five of chalices, maybe that you've made before this self-reflective stage, a period in your life. It could also be 3 manifestations because I don't think it's just 2. It's either 3 or 5. And they're just going to come true all at once, but they're still in the process of like baking to perfection. I keep on getting physical manifester. I think that you don't understand how powerful of a manifester you are. You have this unique ability about you, Power. I'm getting someone who there's like a body chart. I'll put it up on the screen, y'all. I fucking body chart. What? Some chart where you can be a manipulator, manifester. Like it shows like how you should manifest in this reality, and you're definitely a manifester, a generator, or something like that. Cause it's just boom, 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 spurts, spurts, spurts. You're lucky in that you don't have to get your manifestations checked so much. What I mean by that is if your manifestation is to call in a soulmate, if their spirit guides disagree, they would just call it off. But you're lucky because the way you were born into this life, the soul you are, you can override anything and just manifest what you want. but I don't even think you know it. I think you're only going to start even thinking about this, realizing this. You're probably going to forget about this reading by the time this happens. Once these manifestations come in, because it's boom, boom, boom all at once. Your presence is annoying me personally, and I'm okay. I'm being honest because this has nothing to do with the tarot and what spirit's trying to make me channel. I'm just saying this because you're coming off as like a pitiful person, a very slow moving, you're a wandering soul. And I just think that you come off as not the commitment type. I think this is how society sees you. So this is how I'm viewing you too. But I'm not surprised if other people project their stereotypes onto you. Let's say because of the color of your skin, you often get discrimination. You're a woman, you get discrimination. Because you're gay, you get discrimination. In this life, it's not going to stop, to be honest, because you just come off as like a weak, pitiful, I can just kick you and you won't say anything, you won't do anything. But I think it's because you're a really, really kind person. You have been born into this life with the grace of seeing things from a higher perspective. And I think that's why you're not prone to violence. You're just too understanding where the other person's coming from and you're just okay with it. You're okay with taking the punches. That'd be so sad if you've been a victim of violence. The vessel that you're in, no one would know that you're even highly evolved spiritually, that you're so in tune with your intuition. And you seem like the type of person to really work on your own because you come off as like a follower and like it's a pushover, but you're actually not. So you probably get a lot of projections and so much water's coming out. That's why I'm really getting projections that society often shoves onto you. Okay, so over here, these last two cards are going to let you know what's going to be the outcome if you follow the advice in this reading that I'm about to give you, which the advice was simply to just wait. Honestly, you don't really have to do anything because you're still going to continue self reflecting, and spirit is going to give you the burst and zest for you to want to change up your physical life and have all your manifestations come true all at once. This is the advice if you follow that. That's so funny. With all the piles, you don't have to do anything. Once again, with this Three of Pentacles, I think it's reiterating three manifestations coming true, definitely. Wow, it's probably the useless outcome if you follow the advice in this reading. It's just what I told you. Because with the Three of Pentacles, if anything, once this manifestations come true, I think it's three different important players that are going to be coming into your life. Because you know how I was telling you that you're the main character? You're very much giving main character energy because of how freaking powerful your manifestations are. You just have to wait for your manifestations to come in, and as soon as they come in, there's going to be three different side characters entering your life. And I just feel like you don't have any people around you currently that are side character worthy, because I feel like you're main character worthy, as in like you're vibrating so high, there's no one else around you that's vibrating that high, and there's going to be three different people that are going to be coming in. The outcome, if you follow the advice, is to continue being yourself. I don't think you're closed off to meeting new people. I think you're very awakened. You're open to socializing, but it's if people come up to you, and these people will definitely come up to you, or they'll pop up. Some I don't know, there's really no advice. Good job, Pal 4. What pisses me off personally is how powerful of a manifester you don't even realize that you are. But that pisses me off, but it's like in a good way because I give like a lot of tough love. So I just really want you to realize your worth, but you don't even realize your worth. Yes, you know you're high vibing, but you don't realize how powerful. There you go. You're so powerful. It's not just about manifesting, y'all. I don't think you realize or have tapped into truly all the psychic abilities, magical abilities that you can tap into, different ways of divinating, just etc. etc. But you're gonna find it out in this life, okay? I'm just letting you know. But you're not even worried. Like even if I told you this, I don't think you would really care too much. I'm gonna end it here, okay? Okay, good job, Pop4. I hope you have enough patience. I think you do, because you're just biding time by self-reflecting. Anyways, please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day or night. Bye. Hello, what am I saying? Wow. Hello to those who chose in Power 5. Usually Power 5 ends with the big bang that I never expected. And as soon as I put down these cards, it's probably going to be something else because you got the Ten of Cups, the Empress, and then the Four of Wands. People want that in a relationship reading. That's all I'm saying. So the song y'all got that I intuitively chose for y'all was Hypnotized by Biggie Smalls. I don't know why Spirit keeps on telling me because I'm trying to read the lyrics and hear the song, and they're telling me that, he's dead, right? And I'm just like, okay, like, just let me read the lyrics. This kind of feels out of body spirit perspective because in this song, he talks about him getting bitches, him getting that money, that reputation, that fame, but all for what? What did he amount to when he passed away? He passed away because of, like, I think it was by a drive-by. And then something else I'm also getting to is, well, I don't know when this video is going to come out, but the it's not funny. It's not funny. I'm so sorry. Anyways, his daughter literally sold a home that she owned and it was worth millions to bail out her boyfriend from prison just to pay that fine. He created amazing art. He made amazing songs. Like, I love Hypnotized by Biggie. But I'm simply getting from Spirit's perspective, like, the cycle still continues even if you have money. He had all that money and he didn't even change because he was in a mentality, he was raised up in the hood where they were telling him and had it ingrained in him the only way to be safe is to get money. And no matter what, people in the hood, they steal, they scam, they're snakes, y'all. Like, not all of them, but that's common behavior of what happens in the hood. Like, you should not be surprised if someone hoodwinked you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot blame really that person because if you're put in that situation and you decide to let yourself be a victim to that, you need to learn. That's why people get hard in the hood. There's so much trauma and just emotional damage that occurs just by simply living in the hood. Even if nothing bad happens to you, you see it. You see the violence, you see the discrimination, you see the poverty consciousness. And I don't know why I'm getting that, like, to see it from a bigger perspective. Whenever I'm reading these lyrics, Spirit is minimizing Biggie Smalls, which at first was pissing me off because he really is a man of culture. Like, he really did make a huge impact on the rap industry. But at the end of the day, at what cost? What did his life really amount to besides material wealth? What did he have in spirit? He was very poor in spirit because his morals, his ethics showed that. Maybe I'm channeling this because you came out of the hood. You're probably like a reformed person because the cards that are coming out here, the vibes I'm getting from them, by the way, I'm not surprised if you're a fire sign. Like a driven, passionate, well developed, refined person that I'm about to discuss with you. But I think that you did not have a great past. Like, you did not start off like this. Wherever you were raised, however you were raised, people rarely come out like how you are right now. Very moral, very spiritual, in tune with the divine as well. With the Ten of Chalices, I'm getting that I think you follow your mother or father religion, whatever you were raised from it as a child, you still believe in it. If your parents did not raise you to be religious, I think they were very open for you to explore spirituality. What religion do you actually embody, possess? Like, reference I'm getting is, I think it's in the movie Divergent. There's different classes. Like, people have to take an exam whenever they turn, I think, 16 or 18, and it determines what class you're in, what group you're in. Some people have had families in a particular group for generations, but what if their child came out as like dauntless and then they were some farmer people? Like, you're gonna have to leave all your family to just start totally anew in dauntless. You cannot go back. You cannot retake the exam. It just is what it is. Maybe that's what you had to do. Like, if the interpretations I gave did not resonate, then I think it's that you had to start totally anew to be the person that you are. I think you really had to leave your childhood home. You had to leave the toxic people that had helped you, raised you up to be the person that you were at that moment, and take a leap of faith. It brought you such a rich experience. It really helped you to improve as a person. I think it made you a lot more of a kinder, giving person, I'm not surprised if as soon as you left, that's whenever you started your spiritual awakening. You're so in love with the divine. It's so fucking unconditional. I feel like crying. The love you have for the divine. So beautiful. You're such, I don't know how to describe it in words. To be the person that you are, you're already an anomaly. You aren't like another statistic. But then to add on top of that, to become a soft, giving person from an environment where you were supposed to be hard and selfish. That transformation in itself is so gorgeous. I'm very proud of you, Paul 5, but I don't think you even need to hear me say that. So, how can you better your life, Pal 5? Ten of Cups, I know it's showing a couple, but I was getting a very independent vibe. I was only getting the girl, honestly. The man was representing the divine, the spirits around you, the healing energy you give to others. The Prince of Wands, there's actually someone who is meant to enter your life. And I think this is a romantic counterpart. And I think there's a reason why I mentioned in the beginning how all of these are usually come out in a romantic reading. From what I'm getting, I think you're kind of blocking this person. Like, yeah, you are consciously blocking this person from entering your life. And now I'm rubbing my head and I feel like stressed out. I just don't think you want a relationship. I don't think you want commitment. But how can you better your life is by letting this person in, by giving this unconditional, beautiful, gorgeous energy that you have towards the divine and other human beings towards this person. I feel like you want to give it to everyone else but this person. I'm telling you, you were so in tune. I'm not surprised if you received a download or if, like in a dream or even in this waking moment, suddenly got a premonition of the person you are meant to be with or the next relationship you're going to be with, and you got insight into that and you're like, I don't want to be with that person. So I think you're actively stalling meeting this person. But how can you better your life, believe it or not, is by pursuing this person, getting to know this person, simply allowing your energetic field to interact with this person. You don't even have to speak words with them. That's my point. But I feel like the thought of even sitting next to them or being in the same room as them, it just, like, you don't. You're very hesitant. You don't want to get to know this person. You don't think you like being independent, but you gotta accept it. There's a reason why you received the download and this person matched it. And if this is not happening right now, this is gonna happen soon. So this is kind of like a wake up call for a warning. I think you'd be surprised that this person actually has a lot to give, and this person can actually match your vibrational level or your energy. And that surprises you because with the Prince of Wands, you don't really see much in this person. Like, I just don't. Maybe you think you deserve better, or I was really getting that you don't want to be in a relationship. But maybe it could be that too, because this is a collective reading. So you know how I said your aura gave off like a fiery, so maybe like your ascendant is in a fire sign, or like your north node is in like a fire sign, but maybe your moon. But that's the point is like you don't see the potential in this person. I think they are the perfect match for you. I don't know if this is the one, but they definitely are the perfect match for you right now. So just freaking accept it, Paul. It's so odd. It's like it's telling a love story. So with the Empress, that's you, clearly. You're doing your own thing. Spirit's advice, how to make your life better, what's to interact with the person. I just don't think you are. It's because it's really showing up with the Empress. Like you're choosing to look away from this person, you don't want to be in this person's vicinity. But you're kind of confused because with the Six of Pentacles, I don't think you're gonna like it when other people touch this. It's so odd. However you feel whenever you have a crush with someone, obviously you don't like to see them flirting with other people, or it's fine if they help other people, but if they're like giving them CPR, I think you would get triggered if they were to kind of hug the opposite gender from behind their back. You would get triggered. That's how you're gonna feel. Like, because I see the Empress, once again, you're still looking away. But then you once in a while glance back whenever this person is interacting with the gender that they like. So I don't know if y'all are gay or straight. I don't give a fuck. It's a gender that they like. Like this person is very handsy. Consciously, You're going to experience feelings of, oh, this person's disgusting, this person's just a dog, blah, blah, blah. But you need to look deeper than that because it keeps on showing up as a pattern of behavior for you. And how can I better my life? Stop being unself aware. Stop being purposefully ignorant because spirit already told you what you need to do, but you're still not following spirit's advice, the way you should be handling this connection. If you were to actually look deeper, which I don't think you are, stop being stubborn. Why are you so stubborn? Why these feelings of anger towards this person, of this person being a dog or an F boy, F girl? Why do you feel like that? If you really didn't care about this person, if you really thought this person is disgusting, why do you see them in such a negative light? Why are you painting them in such a negative way? What's so wrong about being an F boy or an F girl? If anything, you give off that kind of energy. You just want to be independent too. Stop being so judgmental. So if you were to question that, which I don't think you are, especially because these are so separate, it's because you actually like this person. I think you actually have a crush on this person, but you're consciously pushing it down. You're choosing to look away. Maybe because this person is giving off like immature energy. Maybe you just think that this person's too young for you, or their lifestyle does not match with yours. Feel more superior to this person in many aspects of life or in many skill sets. Also, you don't like the people that they're around or their friends that they're around, or you just know that their friends would not accept you. Like, so what's the point? You just keep on giving excuses like, what's the point? What's the point? Anyway, so if you were for some reason to actually gather the freaking self awareness, right? Actually do the deep dive in and to delve into the feelings that you feel towards this person. Once you're aware that you have a crush on this person, then it's like the anger is not stemming from the fact you have a crush on, it's because you have sexual desire towards this person. But I feel like you're just going to continue suppressing that. I don't think there's even a point of me even telling you that, but I'm just letting you know, I'm calling you out, and spirit sees it for what it is, okay? So, last but not least, is here with the Four of Wands, okay? So, you're still independent, you're still by yourself, and I see you in like a baking period. That's how spirit's seeing you, okay? So, you were turned away here until here. And over here, it matches here with this fire energy that this person also gives off. And I think it could take you 2 to 3 months in this baking period to fully realize and turn towards this person and actually want to interact with them, actually want to reach out to them, be open to a reciprocal connection with this person. Me telling you this, you would be like, I would never. Naomi, what do you mean? I would never. You have another thing coming. You're just a very stubborn person. I think there's a reason why it mentions about, the whole you had like a hard past and stuff. I think you're used to tough love. Maybe you're used to being so hyper independent. I don't know what it is, but I think this kind of in a way relates to how others act in your hometown or the way that you were raised and stuff. Over here is going to be what's going to be the outcome if you follow my advice, which is to become more self aware that you actually have feelings for this person. So I was getting that the Eight of Pentacles is thinking about the Ace of Pentacles, and I'm channeling this rock song where he's like, I wanna get away, I wanna fly away. So that song, what it embodies, you are trying your best to go against Spirit's plan and what they want for you to follow. But in this outcome, you would go with the flow. So this is you with the moon jumping into the water and allowing spirit to take you where you need to go because you keep on staying stuck and stagnant purposefully because you want to go against spirit's plan. So once you jump in there, with the Five of Wands, all of the fears and animosity you had towards this person just washes away in the river. Because I was getting with the five wands, like they're really insignificant. They were not that powerful. It isn't a huge obstacle. Because I think you were viewing it as making excuses of this is a huge obstacle. This is not going to work out because of this and this and this and this and this. And you just loved just adding on to the five of wands, adding on to all those reasons to hate on this person. But then now you just got to jump in there, go with the flow. And it's like, I gotta act surprised, but you're not surprised. Once you go with the flow, this person is going to reach out to you, want to build a connection with you. What do you know? But you have to act like, definitely did not receive a psychic download about this. I definitely did not even see this coming. Yeah, wow. But you did. Okay. Once you first interact with this person, talk with them, you have this critical, you're very critical. I keep on getting critical energy here. You keep on judging this person, like you specifically, I was getting, wow, this is all the eggs I'm putting into this one basket. Wow. Wow, it's so worth it. So much sarcasm. I'm not surprised if you're very petty with this person in the beginning. You know how whenever you see people have a love hate dynamic, or whenever there's like friends that are always aggressive or mean to one another, I think you're gonna actually try to be mean with this person, or because that's the only way you know how to channel your sarcasm. I just feel like you keep on thinking you're superior because you're seeing things from a higher perspective because you received a psychic download, but for all you know, maybe this person's also psychic. You're still not really open to fully letting this person in. But the gag, bitch, the gag is, you see that sun? That's you. Because I did say you were fire energy, and the Prince of Pentacles is them. So this is what you are going to refuse to think you're going to do, but you are, if you follow my advice. If anything, you're going to become a little stalker. I think if anything, you're gonna become kind of possessive over this person. Like, once again, feelings of jealousy. You're gonna want this person to yourself. You're gonna start spying them often. I'm just really getting like a possessive. You see, are you masculine energy? Are you masculine energy? Anyways, you're very like, this is mine. You're mine. But you know how whenever people try to own you and it's toxic, this does not feel necessarily toxic. I think this is how you feel whenever you love someone and it's just like, no one can have you, no one can touch you. I think this is if other people pursue this person romantically or sexually. I think that's whenever this arises out of you. I don't think that this is toxic in that you're thinking about this with their friends and their family and stuff. You would only get jealous with their friends or family whenever it comes to the fact that you haven't seen this person in a month and their family can see them every single day. You know, it's like, oh, it's not fair. I just really want to see whoever this person is. You're going to think I'm lying. I don't think that you think you're going to be like this. But honestly, you feel like a jerk, like like an asshole, because this whole time you've been thinking you're superior to this person, blah blah. But here you are, clearly catching feelings. You're so hyper independent that you don't realize whenever you have a crush or not. I don't think you're that in tune with your romantic lovey-dovey emotions. Or maybe for a long time you have not dated, but now it's like, oh, give me this person. Give me this person. I want this person. Also, with the Prince of Pentacles and this outcome, I did say over here, look, over here, like it is baking. It is in the process of you actually learning to accept that you actually want this person. You still have this cold exterior. Like you're still trying to make this person work for it, or you still want to make this person feel insignificant a few times, but I don't see you bullying this person as much as you were bullying them before, you know, or calling out this person so much on their flaws as you were before. Whenever it comes to love, you're a very silent, probably acts of service kind of person. It's kind of masking like your obsessive nature, honestly. I feel like whenever you love someone, it's really, really hard. It's just like a claw, like, give it to me. If anything, with the Prince of Pentacles, I think you want them to be independent because you're also independent, but this person is never, or for a long time, is not going to realize because with the Prince of Pentacles, they're coming up as an unaware person, once again, or they're very immature or they're younger than you. They're not going to realize for a long time you actually like them the same way they like you because you're so hard to read because you're very stoic and you hide your lovey-dovey possessive nature from them. I think it's because you like them to be independent and you wouldn't like it if someone was like this towards you. So I think that's why you're holding it and suppressing it. But I'm just letting you know, if you continue this with this person, it's eventually going to come out in some way. And I could definitely picture this coming out in like a tower moment. So what I mean by that is imagine if you were hiding in the trees, like watching them, and then you accidentally fall down and then they help you up and it's like, what are you doing here? Why are you in the trees? They're like, oh, so you were watching me, pal five. Wow, how long have you been watching me? It's just from there. Okay, yeah, that's all. That's all. Please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day or night. Bye.